Welcome back to another episode of Jungbeop Talk. In today's episode, we're diving deep into a fascinating discussion about the purpose of life, whether it's about living for the public or for the private. This is something that really resonates with me, and I think it might resonate with a lot of our listeners too.
Yeah, it's such an important question. It makes you really reflect on where you're putting your energy, doesn't it? I know for a while I've been trying to shift from living for myself to living for something greater than myself. But honestly, there's always that hesitation, like my ego gets in the way sometimes.
Exactly. And you're not alone in that. The struggle with ego is so real. I think it's especially relevant in cultures like ours, where ego is deeply embedded. In fact, one of the things we'll explore today is how our egos shape our actions, even when we don't want them to.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the beginning, how Koreans, for example, have a naturally strong sense of ego. It's kind of built into our culture. But what's interesting is how this ego can actually be a force for good if we channel it the right way.
Right. And that's the key, channeling it. When we talk about pride, we're not saying it's inherently bad. Pride is full of energy and self-assertion, which can be quite powerful. The problem arises when that pride becomes an obstacle, when it gets in the way of relationships or progress.
So you're saying that pride is actually a double edged sword? It can either be something that empowers you or it can hold you back.
Exactly. Take the classic example of families with strong pride, like in historical stories. Look at Romeo and Juliet. Those families could have avoided so much pain if they let go of their pride. Instead, they destroyed themselves. It's the same with us. Our pride can actually ruin us if we're not careful.
That makes sense. It's like when we're in a comfortable position, pride is easier to hold on to. But the moment we face hardship, that's when pride really starts to hurt us.
Yes, and that's the law of grand nature. If we insist on our pride, we make our lives harder. Whether it's health, finances, or relationships, if we refuse to humble ourselves in tough times, things just spiral. So, knowing when to set pride aside is crucial.
So, when is the right time to put pride down? It seems so hard, especially when you've built so much around it.
That's the challenge, isn't it? The key difference lies in whether you're living for private gain or for the public good. People who live for the public good don't insist on their pride. They're humble, even in the face of personal loss.
So people who are truly living for others don't cling to pride? But what about those who are in public positions, like celebrities or politicians? Aren't they supposed to be role models for society?
That's an interesting point. We often think of celebrities as public figures, but just because they're in the public eye doesn't necessarily mean they live for the public good. True public figures, whether they're in politics or entertainment, don't own things for their personal benefit. They live for the collective good, acting fairly and transparently.
That's a tough standard, though. Are there any real public figures like that?
That's the irony. I'd say there hasn't been a true public figure yet. We've been taught what a public figure should look like, but in practice, we haven't seen one live up to those ideals.
So, does this mean we're still in a phase of learning how to be public figures?
Exactly. This period we're in now, the age of human-centered thinking, is all about understanding what public life really means. It's not until we align ourselves with the righteous laws of nature that true public figures will emerge.
So, the shift from living for the private to living for the public is something we're still evolving towards?
Yes, and that shift will come from those who are enlightened. People who understand the greater purpose of their lives, beyond just their ego and personal achievements. We're witnessing the birth of true public figures, people who are empowered by knowledge and virtue.
I love that. People who are enlightened and who have the wisdom to guide others. It's not just about the power or status, but about real service to others.
Exactly. The first public figures are those who understand that they're here to serve the greater good, not just their personal interests. It's a long journey, but when it happens, it'll be transformative.
It seems like the key to it all is humility, doesn't it? Humility in knowing when to let go of your pride and focus on serving others.
Absolutely. And as we shift into this new era, the hope is that more and more people will recognize the importance of living for the public good, not just their own. This is what the world needs.
It's a big shift, but one that could truly change everything. If we all start thinking less about our own egos and more about how we can help others, I think that's when the real change will begin.
It's going to take time, but the future is bright. We're laying the foundation now for the public figures of tomorrow, people who will truly embody the righteous law of the universe.
I can't wait to see that shift happen. It's a hopeful vision, one that I believe we can all work towards.
Agreed. We just have to remember, the key is in living for the public, not for private gain. It all starts with understanding that difference. Let's see where this journey takes us.
Definitely. Well, I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation in the next episode.
Absolutely. We'll dive deeper into more aspects of this next time. Thanks for listening, everyone.
To be continued in episode 2.